This video is over topic 333, practice problems. So looking at credit card calculations, things to know, give you the monthly interest rate. So it's already been divided by 12. So you're just going to take whatever balance times the monthly interest rate. Interest charges added to the balance, purchases are added to the balance, payments are subtracted from the balance. Now that calculation to find the interest charge is where we're going to have a difference. There is the unpaid balance method. So number one, the unpaid balance is the balance that then gets used to determine the interest rate. Unpaid balance of $356.75 with an interest on the unpaid balance at 1.8% per month means the amount of interest is going to be 1.8% of $356.75, which is 8 times 365, 642 times 3565 is 6.4215, which will round to the nearest cent, 642. Then to find the new balance, we have the original unpaid balance, or sometimes called a carryover balance. Carries over from 1 month to the next. We add to that the interest. We add to that the purchases. And subtract from that the payment. And hopefully you're mostly not using a credit card in this way where you have this carryover balance and then you spend more and don't pay as much as you're spending, where that balance is going to keep going up. That is, sometimes you get stuck in that temporarily, but you ideally want to be not having a carryover balance at all. Then you don't have to pay any interest. This is $599.67. All right, then the other way is, instead of using the carryover balance, it uses the average daily balance. So this then benefits you if you make a payment earlier in the month or make purchases, like making payment throughout the month versus just at the end of the month. This is less commonly used. It's also a much more complicated calculation, but you will have a table in ALEKS that will walk you through the steps. So first, unpaid balance. I'll go column by column here. So unpaid balance, first starting out is just the previous balance that carries over. Then we have purchases that gets added. So adding the 283.70. So let's pop up a calculator here on screen. So 356.75 plus 283.70 is 640.45. Then there's a payment, so that gets subtracted. So that leaves 440.45, and then more purchases get added. So subtracting the 200 and then adding the 152.80, ending up at 593.25. Then we need to figure out how many days the account is at each of those balances. So the first balance, going from August 1, changes on August 7th. So that means August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 6 days, which is also 7 minus 1. So we can follow that. 18 minus 7. The next is 11 days at the next amount. So that'd be the 7th, 8th, 9th, all the way up through the 17th. And then 24 minus 18, 6 days, the 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, the 24th, it's at the new balance. Now we have to be a little careful with this last one because there's 31 days in August. We can't take 31 minus 24. I think the easier way perhaps is to add up the days we already have and see how many are left. So we could do 31 minus 6 and 11 and 6. So that would be 23. So 31 minus 23, which is 8. So then those will add up to the 31 days in August. Once you have the number of days at each balance, then this is now a grouped mean type calculation. Multiply each unpaid balance by the number of days at that balance. So let's do those. So we have 356.75 times 6, 640.45 times 11, 440.45 times 6, 593.25 times 8. Yeah. So that is 21 and then 70, 44, 95, 642, 70, and 47, 46. Then we add those all up. Adds up to 16,574.15. So the last step to find the average daily balance is taking that 16,574.15 and dividing that by the 31 days. And that comes out 534.65. And checking that, it's going to be somewhere in between those balances that were there. So at least 356.75, at most 640.45, and we see it does fall within that range. So now that whole first step, now we can do the interest, 1.8% on the average daily balance. So we're taking 1.8% now of the 534.65. 0.018 times 534.65 is 962. And then for the new balance for September 1st, we already have taken care of the purchases and payments. So all we need to do now is take that final balance and add on to it the interest. So that's the calculations you'll be doing with credit cards.